Here is an easy and simple recipe for about 4 pambazos. What we're going to need are 4 bolillos, Chile Guajillo, and we're going to use about 6 of these. I used about half a pound of Longaniza, 1 huge and 1 small potato, but it's really 3 to 4 regular sized potatoes, sour cream, queso fresco, a head of lettuce, 1 whole onion, and about 2 garlic cloves. What we're going to do first is de-seed and devein the Chile Guajillos. Once you've done that, you want to rinse them, then add them to a pot of hot water, and we're going to let these boil until the chiles have become tender and changed in color. This usually takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Next, what we're going to do are the potatoes. I went ahead already and peeled and chopped mine. So you're going to want to chop these into small cubes and add them to a pot of hot water as well. And we're going to let these boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. Or until you've noticed that the potatoes are soft enough. You don't want to overboil or they will break apart. You want them to keep their form. Now that I have the potatoes in the water, what we're going to do next is add the longaniza to a pan. I didn't add any oil, I just put the longaniza on the pan and we're going to break it apart into small chunks. Once the longaniza has cooked halfway through, we're going to use half of the diced onion that we have, and we're going to stir it into the longaniza and cook it through until the onion has become translucent. What we're going to do next is prep the chile that we coat the pambazos with. So we're going to use the 6 Chile Guajillos that we boiled. We're going to add the 2 garlic cloves, and we're going to start with about a little less than half a cup of water. You always want to start off with a little bit of water because you want the consistency to be between watery and thick. So as you go, you will see how much more water is needed. Also salt. Careful with the salt. Once you've blended the chile to the consistency and taste that you like, we're going to go ahead and strain this chile. We're going to do this to separate the chunks of chile that are left behind in the blender, and we're going to use a spoon. You just want to stir it around until all the liquid seeps through the strainer. This should be your end result. Now that the potatoes are nice and tender, we're going to go ahead and add them over to the longaniza. You want to go ahead and stir them in. You don't want to smush the potatoes, you want them to keep their form. So just give it a nice gentle stir. What we're going to do is use the other half of the onion that we diced, and we're going to add the queso fresco to it. So you want to start off by adding chunks of the queso in there, and then using a knife or a fork, you want to break the queso apart and mix it in with the onions. This is how the queso and onions should look. I went ahead already and cut my bolillo down the side. I have the chile next to my bolillo and I have the oil heating on the stove. We're going to go ahead and dip the bolillo into the chile and we're going to coat it all around. Now that you've coated the bolillo, we're going to go ahead and add it to the hot oil, and we're going to fry these for about 2 minutes or until the bolillo has a burnt color to it. It'll look burnt, but it's not the bolillo, it's the chile, and the toastier the better. Here I press down lightly, but it's okay to go ahead and press it all the way down. You want it to evenly fry on the bottom so it's okay to smush the bolillo. Even when you flip it, the round side, I know it curves. You could go ahead and press that down. Don't be afraid to smush the bolillo. What you want is to get it fried all around. Once you have fried the bolillo to your liking, what we're going to do next is stuff it with the longaniza and papa. I use 2 spoons to do this. Since the bolillos are fresh out of the hot oil, you want to use 1 spoon to hold it open and the other one to stuff it with. Now this mixture usually stuffs about 4 pambazos, but depends on how full you like your pambazo. It may do 2 for you, 3, but this usually is for about 4. I went ahead already and chopped and washed my lettuce, so we're going to use the lettuce next to stuff the pambazos. Next, we're going to use the mixture of the queso fresco and the onion, and we're going to throw that over the lettuce. Be sure to get the back of the pambazo too. And lastly, we're going to add the sour cream. This is like the cherry on top, guys. This is very delicious. And there you have it. Add a jalapeno to the side and you're ready to eat.